lowest age you go?
Get the dogs out. Bang! Come on, so just change the whole life with one fucking strike. Dude. What is going on with the camera crew today?
Tell when someone's drink soy milk.
They're usually like pale. Oh, bro, pale people too. Pale people tend to have a shit diet. Because if they don't care to get sunlight, they don't really care to do anything. Type shit.
First, I think it should be illegal to have no bunda.
But they never do a single thing to improve themselves.
You hit some shit with like 0 bunds?
Of course.
And how'd that make you feel?
I've dated some shit with no buns.
What's worse? No buns or death?
No buns or death.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Dude, extra NPC today, eh? There's a lot of ugly motherfuckers in here. Take a wheel off.
Ooh.
I should put subtitles on it.
No, you should put the subtitle, but like
Squished,
everything,
yeah.
like no spaces.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah. Cool ideas for your like vlogs. When we intro it, like
You've got cool ideas.
no, to put into like
Max has a good idea. That's a first.
like.
Full stack.
Oh, dude, it's lifting me. Oh, that's
Bro,
it.
full stack. You literally got motion. Alright, let me try.
Bro, we're gonna zoom in on Leon Edwards.
Can we get a Leon Edwards check?
Hey, Leon. Nah.
He's even got the like receding hairline as well. Hey, fucking 100 semen retention Minecraft skeletons and shit start looking crazy.
Huh? Day 100 of skeleton retention.
What'd you call me?
Called you a handsome young black African successful entrepreneur.
Can I get the most expensivest SD card you've got? Like so much like shit to make.
You got it like that.
Right up in my garage here right now. Back up off me. Paid in full.
Dude, paid in full, paid in schmall. Oop.
And
I broke that bitch's neck. Neck check.
Wait, have you ever sucked toes?
But not really.
Ever sucked toes?
Yeah, like once or twice, but not like on a serious mission to suck them. It didn't get me bricked.
I have.
Well done.
Heaps. This is Australian culture.
What about it?
How I don't like it.
You don't like it?
No.
Tell us about that.
What is our culture?
I don't
Full
like it either.
drives,
Yeah.
beach, beers,
Mm.
clubbing, and working harder than the next person is considered a flex.
This is true actually, and it goes as deep to as if you're making money online, you get hated on.
That's my next thing is like how the Aussie culture is so poorly constructed in this like ideology that we have to do X things to be a functioning member of society. And if you're not going to work 5 days a week for someone else, you're not a functioning member of society.
Boys, don't get born in Australia because
Real
if you
talk, boys.
try to make a lot. And there's not a whole lot you can do about it. You just block the noise. Like I've always spoken about, almost everything is noise, and that's just another thing to remember that almost everything is noise. So get good at blocking that shit out because there's going to be a lot of yappingtons like
Right.
this young man right here.
If you want to grow as a person, you can't grow in the environment you're probably in right now because of the culture, because of the people around you, your environment, everything. And there's a lot of people that want to do self-development, but self-development's hard when you're surrounded by a bunch of spastics.
Boys, the easiest thing for you to change as well is your environment. All right, if there's something that you don't like or you feel like shit or you want to kill yourself, the easiest thing you can do is change your environment. Just fucking leave your house. Stop living with your parents. Type shit. Boys, listen.
Yeah, but like not even just that. It's like
Not even
if
just
you
that.
feel like your friends are all just going down a path of
Fuck 'em.
degeneracy and they're doing nothing and they have no ambitions.
Kill them.
Dude, stop being friends with them.
Literally, I had to block this guy last week.
There's one person in my life that I have this fucking retard. That's it.
Whoa. Okay.
And there's multiple reasons. It's because we're on the same wavelength with everything. We have the same like views of majority
really.
of shit. And
Arguably.
also,
Not.
it's like he doesn't
I'm
want to
actually better
do
than
what everyone else is doing, and I don't like being I don't like just doing normie shit.
Yeah, I hate normies.
Bro,
I
there's
think-
what good comes out of being part of the crowd?
Not only normies, but I want to drill this point home, and when I say drill, I mean like drill it. That the middle literally has nothing to offer. Like, if you're in the middle in any sense, you're gonna get fucked. And by that I mean, if you're a man and you need to be either completely broke, and somehow a girl loves you like because you're troubled, or completely rich. You can't just be middle, because then you're going to go work, your girl's going to be home watching reality TV, and she's going to get programmed, and she's going to end up being something fucked, right? The middle has nothing to offer any of you in any realm, even if it's out of relationships, right? The middle is just setting you up for depression. Do you really just want to work?
Oh, there's not. Yeah, like, do you just want to? Do
Pussies.
you want to just be stuck in your routine till 65? Like, the routine you're living now is probably what you're going to be until you're 65, unless you start doing anything. Just do anything.
And not everyone can be a mad sales genius entrepreneur, right? But even outside of that, it's like, say you're in construction. Work your way up and own a construction company.
Yeah.
Never just accept being the wagey.
What race would you rather be other than the race you are right now?
Yeah, so if you weren't white, what would you be?
Half black.
Crazy question.
Advice to anyone trying to make some money online.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably not like in a position to do that, but like,
Well, I make money online.
yeah.
I made.
You run some advice to.
I've made. Within the last 5 days, I probably made just over 5K. So
Respect.
my advice would be a community, like real shit. Like, you genuinely, you can, and people do it, and they have crazy success stories. But if you actually want to try it and succeed, having someone else teach you how to do it and actually show you how to do it with a step-by-step is your best option, because majority of the time you've got no fucking idea about
True.
what you were doing.
Not only that, but like, me and him both obviously know this because we both went through having a mentor and all that stuff. And the first thing is, like, if you try to do it on your own, because I did try to do SMMA and a few things on my own, you're going to quit. Like, you're just going to give up because
Yeah.
you're not going to figure it out, and then you're going to quit.
No one's pushing you either.
No one's pushing you. You don't know what you're doing, and then you're going to fail and then quit. So to make sure you don't quit and you have someone to hold you accountable, but you've also got someone that has walked the exact path that you want to walk, and they can just tell you how to walk that path, it's a no-brainer. And it might... People will say, like... Because we both invested in getting a mentor and getting in a community, right? And people are like, oh, I don't have money. Work a job.
If you invest money into something, are you going to give more a fuck about that thing you've invested into or not? Because if you do it on your own, you've got no monetary gain put into it. There's nothing really holding you to stick with it. Where if you put money into it, you know, you have people holding you accountable, you're going to succeed. You know, we've onboarded and helped as well. Like, everyone just, like, helps each other out, right? And holding other people and making other people do more than you is very important.
Yeah, and... Yeah, I co-sign that. Do the shit jobs. Use the money from the shit jobs to put all your effort and attention on something better.
Bro.
We were both working a shit-ass job, saved up, like, a couple grand, invested that in getting the knowledge we needed, and then...
Bro, I was doing 10-hour days knocking fucking doors.
And now we make fucking 5, 8, 6, 7 grand a week, right? And it's like, okay, what if the investment at the start was 6 grand? We make that every single fucking week now, and we'll only ever make more than that for the rest of our lives. This is the mindset that you need to have, because I know you don't even have this mindset, but it's like, you shouldn't want to chase the fame or the success or the cars or any of that stuff, or having a girl's boyfriend follow you on Instagram. But what you should chase is just getting really fucking good at something, and then if the fame and the success and the girlfriends following you on Instagram come from that, then good. But you'll never be fulfilled if you're chasing things other than just getting really good at something. So just get really fucking good at something and then enjoy the fruit that comes with that. Boys, like, do not trust your girl. Like, she's not your girl.
Oh,
Just do not trust women, please.
Dude, like-
honestly, it's never worth it. I mean, like, maybe, like, find a virgin or something. This is the reason in the last vlog that we were talking about needing a virgin.
the whole idea of like, oh my god, I want to put my dick in the girl first. That's why I want the virgin.
That's nothing to do
The
with
reason you want a virgin is because the imprint the other men in the world are having on the girl, the fucking things, dude, like the things girls that aren't virgins get up to, boys. Even your missus, right? The amount of oh, bro, it's so fucking
It'd
tough
be-
to talk about.
It'd be
but
the missuses as well, but, like, basically, from the perspective, when you're on the other side of it, you understand. Tell me how when you're on the other side of it, you understand. That's a major key. Bring out the cappuccino.
I call her chandelier. So yeah,
Have you
build,
ever
like-
played rugby?
Boy, better know that's the label.
New lighting.
My mum told me to make a wish. I made a wish to get money. Now I'm in a club drinking like a fish. Definitely eating like a piranha. Forget beef, I leave that to the farmer. I put money on your head like a barber. You see, I get money cause I go hard. But I want more money so I go harder. I work in the night time, trying to get daytime, playtime, airtime. In my spare time, book a flight with British Airways airline. I'm here to stay like Frisco's hairline. I can't get bored of it. I love music, I can't get bored of it. And you know what? I don't need to try, I was born with it. Danger, danger, somebody told me.
First thing I want to talk about is the aesthetics of this microphone. It is a shotgun microphone for my camera, but examine the aesthetics of this motherfucker. But I realized I can't just make these videos fun and waffle, but I need to make them valuable also a little bit as well. So what I'm going to be talking about in this video is kind of my journey, how I ended up here, and the best advice I can give you guys for your own journey. So I would say around 2 years ago now, I moved out of my hometown and I moved to Melbourne. And I was a DJ and a producer at the time, so I'd wanted to get out of my hometown for quite some time. Not only to get out of my hometown and grow, but to also get more opportunity for music. When I moved there, I ended up in a terrible job that I hated, and it was like very demeaning tasks, like things that just made you feel like you weren't worth shit, and I probably wasn't. I knew I wasn't going to stay there, and I knew I was going to level up, but I didn't really know how. And I was working this job, I was in a tiny apartment, I didn't know what I was doing, and I was broke. And I was going out to events and going partying basically every weekend. And this was fun at the time, but what I've realized now is I was basically just throwing away years of development, and had I realized this sooner, I probably would have been years ahead of where I'm at. But we're obviously on God's timing. But it does come back to this saying that I'm kind of obsessed with, that I always come back to a lot of times in conversation with anyone, and it's that a man with no purpose distracts himself with pleasure. But I'm not just telling you this to waffle, I'm telling you this because I do feel like I have an important message to share with you. I had an idea of who I wanted to be and the life that I wanted to live in my head, but my actions didn't align with that. I had the goals of someone who was super successful and accomplished, but my actions didn't reflect that. I had the goals of someone who was something, but I was acting like a degenerate. As I found my way into high ticket sales and I started making a bit of money online, there was a slight shift, but I kept partying and I kept going out and I kept the same identity. But as I'm going out, I'm staying up late, I'm getting tired, I'm getting drunk. My performance in sales and my ability to make money is getting sacrificed, because with sales, you obviously need to be sharp, you need to be switched on, you need to be quick, you need to be mentally switched on. So I quit drinking and I stopped going out cold turkey. I just stopped it straight up and haven't gone back since. And this is pretty much the most important part, because it taught me a lot of things that I needed to know. The first one being, in order to change your life, you don't need money, you don't need motivation, you don't need any of these things. But what you need is to change your identity. A lot of people falsely identify the reason that they're not living their dream life as a lack of motivation or a lack of discipline. But the truth is, you already are motivated. If you want to change your life, You're already motivated to make a change, but there's something else missing. And what it is and what's actually happening is you're just currently in the wrong identity. If you identify as a broke person, then you will be broke. If you identify as a successful person, then you will become successful. If you identify as an athlete, you'll become an athlete. If you identify as someone who struggles with addiction, you will probably continue to struggle with addiction. If you have the identity of someone who plays victim, then you will remain a victim. If you have the identity of a winner, then you'll be a winner. If you have the identity of a loser, then you'll be a loser. Now, I don't agree with the Transformers on being able to just identify as whatever you want to be and then you can become that even if it denies objective reality. But what I do agree with is that as a man thinketh, so is he. Meaning that your thoughts will eventually become your reality. If you're always clubbing and you're always going out and that's what your thoughts are and that's what you identify as, that will continue to be your reality. So that's what I was. I was broke, I was clubbing, and I was that person. That was my identity. It wasn't until I completely cut all of that stuff out and started just focusing on sales and online business and making money, and then even posting content online and completely changing my identity until the point where people were asking me, what the fuck are you doing? What is this? Why are you stopping music? And basically completely changing myself as a person. And the reason was, in order to become a version of yourself that you've never been before, you have to begin to do things that you've never done before. To actually move closer to the person that you see yourself as, you need to become that person first mentally and then physically in order to get there. So it will come with a bit of resistance and people will wonder what you're turning into, what you're changing. But the truth is you're changing into the new version of yourself and the better version of yourself. I went from having the identity of a broke, unskilled, uneducated, broke person to having the identity of a educated, skilled, high income, high earning individual. And the things I wanted only would manifest themselves in my reality once I changed my identity completely into that person. One of the OG sales guys, Brian Tracy, I've read a lot of his books, and in one of his books he talks about this study that they did where they had different salesmen, and whatever the salesman thought their income was or should be, and whatever income they identified as, is normally what they would hit pretty much every time without fail. The salesman that thinks and identifies as a 5k a month salesman would always make 5k a month. Even if he was at 2k in the last week, he would hustle and he would get to 5k. And even if he had already made 5k in the first 2 weeks, he would coast and slack off and still make 5k that month. When they tested and taught salespeople to identify with a higher income, they could almost instantly increase that salesperson's income by changing their identity. This helped me realize in order to increase my income, I had to do the same. I had to stop thinking as a construction worker who made 2k a month and think as an entrepreneur who made 30k a month or more. So I began to identify as a female. I'm kidding. I started to identify as someone who makes 10k a month, and that's who I felt like. Then, sure enough, I hit 10k a month. Then, once I hit 10k a month, I started to identify as someone who makes 50k a month. Am I making 50k a month yet? Not yet, but I'm only about 20k off. So it only took me a couple months to do so, as soon as I changed my identity. So the lesson is, first and foremost, be willing to shed away your identity and who you currently are in order to become the version of yourself that you actually want to be. It will take sacrifice and it will take time, but it will pay.
That will give you eternal life, that will give you a brand new thought like Christ, that will change you for good. Because when you drink of this water, you will thirst no more, neither in this life nor in the next one. Read the Holy Bible every day. Was in the Garden of Eden as well. And this river in the Garden of Eden, says it got divided into 4 rivers.
So I've been getting into scripture recently, and I've been speaking to a few people as well, and I wrote a chapter where it talks about it's better to have the right people around you to make you feel wrong than having the wrong people around you to make you feel right. And from speaking to people and reading some scripture, I've realized that change comes with sacrifice. And the amount that you're willing to sacrifice will be the amount of change that you see. And I don't think most people are willing to sacrifice their identity, sacrifice what they currently have in order to get to where they actually want to be. Your willingness to sacrifice will directly determine your success. And I don't think you realize how much you need to leave behind in order to walk with God, but also get to where you want to be. Whether that be habits, whether that be your friends, whether that be lust, worldly things in general, whatever it may be, you need to be willing to sacrifice and leave a lot behind to become the person that you need to become. It might be hard to think, oh, I got to give up on worldly things, you know, and I got to try to be righteous. But everything of the world is temporary. And another thing that will correlate to your success is your willingness to delay gratification, right? And normally things of the world, they're instantly gratifying. You know, girls, lust, whatever it may be, drugs, porn, food, whatever it is, if it feels good instantly, then it's probably not good for you in reality. And that's another thing that's going to directly correlate to your success, is how willing you are to do the things that feel painful now in order to experience the fruit of that later. Another thing I'm starting to realize as well is like how lonely you're going to get when you start to level up, and not only that, but even just cutting out the people who aren't serving you. And you kind of learn to determine and distinguish what is providing value and what's providing venom. And when you get good at that and you realize that you need to remove certain people and certain things in order to achieve certain things, you end up pretty much becoming a lone wolf. And I don't agree that being a lone wolf is the way to do things. I don't think it's the best, and I don't necessarily even think it makes anything easy or good, and it gets very lonely. But you need to always put yourself first, because you can't pour from an empty cup. And it's not necessarily good, but if people aren't willing to be on your level and help you climb to the top, it's better off to ride solo. The key to all of this at the end of the day is like, whether it's building that relationship with God, whether it's hustling, building your business, building your skill sets, it's all determined on your willingness to travel outside of your comfort zone. Your willingness to travel outside of your comfort zone will directly correlate to your success. And complacency, it's going to come. It doesn't matter who you are or what you're doing. Complacency is going to come into your life. And it doesn't matter if you're super successful or you're still starting, or you haven't even started your journey yet. It will walk into your life, and it doesn't matter who you are. But what matters is that you're not willing to stay there. You're not willing to sit in that complacency. Cutting people off, getting good at distinguishing value versus venom. Anything that provides value, keep it in your life. Anything that provides venom, cut it out. Be willing to travel outside of your comfort zone, and be willing to sacrifice everything. I be feeling real deal blessed to be living in like such a beautiful place, but being locked into a routine like crazy. The issue with having a good routine and being locked into that bitch for like multiple months is it gets very boring, and you begin to lose the experience of life. So I am excited to go travel, go do some crazy shit next year, and I'm bringing you guys with me.